Hey, once again, it's Jamal, your friendly neighborhood mastering engineer. So, got a story for y'all today. So, back when I was still primarily an artist, I went to this mastering engineer to check him out. He had an ad, and he was giving away a free mastering mastering job to show you, what he was working with, how he would do. So, I go there, and he's in a big time, he's in a professional mastering studio. Like he was the real deal. He had showed me this song that he had mastered, and he told me that the song was the number one song in Europe at the time. Now, it wasn't a hip hop song or anything, so I wasn't really, fully into it. Back then I was just a serious hip hop head, and he showed me the song, and I was just kind of like, okay, whatever. I was more interested in what he was going to do for my song. So, he saw I wasn't too impressed with it, so we just moved on. And it was funny because it's like he told me that song was the number one song in Europe at that time, but probably about, and I hadn't heard it before that, but probably about a good 3 or 4 months later, that song was everywhere in the U.S. It turned out to be that song by Gnarls Barkley, that driving me crazy. Can't do too much singing. YouTube gonna be on me about that, but that song right there. So, and that song was nominated for a Grammy, and I found out, not through him, but through somewhere else, I found out that if the mastering engineer masters a song that's nominated or wins a Grammy, the mastering engineer gets the Grammy too, or they become a Grammy nominated mastering engineer. So that's what he was. So he was all the way at the highest level. Okay. So I go there with my song, go into this nice professional mastering studio, and I'm expecting to hear all sorts of things in the music that I didn't hear at home because I was mixing at home. And so he loads up the music, and he's going through it, and he starts, using the EQ. And I'm like, oh, I heard that at home, but I didn't know that wasn't supposed to be there. You're taking that out. Oh, okay. Then he took out something else, and I'm thinking, oh, wow, I heard that too. So it turns out everything that I heard in this professional mastering engineer studio, I heard at home. Now, mind you, at the time, I didn't even have monitor speakers. I was mixing on a home stereo speakers, but everything I heard in that mastering engineer studio, I heard at home. So the whole point of the story is, it's not the gear, it's the ear. People think it's the gear, you got to have all this great gear and all that sort of thing. And that's not true. I have personal experience to the contrary, where, like I said, I'm in a top-notch professional mastering engineer studio, and I'm thinking I'm going to hear all these things inside this studio that I didn't hear at home. Yet I heard everything in that studio, or everything that I heard in that studio, I heard at home. And like I said, I was mixing on stereo speakers. So it's the ear, not the gear. Make sure that you develop your ear as a mixer or a mastering engineer, whichever one you want to be, or both. But make sure you develop your ear, because that's what really separates those who can do it and do it well from those who can't. They have a developed ear, and that's what you have to do. It's the ear, not the gear. So whatever you're working with right now, just use that, get really, really good with it, and develop your mixing ears. And that way you'll be able to mix on in almost any environment. All right then.